Alrighty, I'm going to wait on you all to come in, and then I'm also going to go live on Facebook. So hello YouTube. All right. Hello Facebook. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So hello everyone. It has been it's been a while. It's been a while because I have so many things going on, but I am getting better at being consistent with my lives. So hopefully many of you caught what I did earlier this week about the 5 money blocks to avoid. And tonight I'm going to be talking to you all about staying in the race, not settling for an incomplete, hanging in there when it gets hard, and just showing up like you know you're supposed to show up. Because that's what we were designed to do. We were designed to manage our lives. We're not designed to let our lives manage us. And so we all want our lives to go smoothly. We don't want to be frustrated, right? We don't want to be overwhelmed. But at the end of the day, life is life. Like at the end of the day, life happens. And so when this happens, then it's up to us to decide what we're going to do, how we're going to handle it, how we're going to manage it, right? And so before I get into the strategies that I want to share with you all, first of all, as you come in, let me know where you are tuning in from. Let me know what you are up to, what you have been up to. Also, I want to mention that I have my Amplify Your Message Masterclass coming up next week, next Thursday. And in that training, I'm going to be teaching you how to book a stage in 7 days or less. So you definitely do not want to miss that. Facebook, if you see me looking up, that's because I've got YouTube streaming live right along with you all. And so my question for you is, are you going to keep the commitments you made to yourself? Oh my goodness. That's what I want to know from you. Are you going to keep the commitments that you have made to yourself? You know what I've discovered? I've discovered that sometimes we will remain committed to others for a longer period. Like we will tolerate stuff from others. We'll give others chance after chance after chance. But then we're hard on ourselves. When it gets hard, when our journey gets hard, we give up. And especially as business owners, this thing is not easy. I recently did a video like saying, I just wish people would tell the truth about this thing. Like it is a lot. But if it's your calling, if it's your mission, then it's going to be up to you to hang in there when it gets tough. It's going to be up to you to recognize and understand that adversity and opportunity, they always go hand in hand. Oh, who am I talking to? Adversity and opportunity, they always go hand in hand. And so if you run from one, you're also running from the other. And a lot of times we look for easy, right? We look for safe. We look for comfort, but that's not how you grow. Woo! That's not how you grow. And so when you say you're going to accomplish something, then you got to be determined to do it. You got to be disciplined enough to do it. And you can't say one thing out of your mouth and then you turn around and do the exact opposite, which is you fold, you hide, you quit, you give up. And so I want to challenge you tonight to not forfeit your victory. And so there are 4 things that I believe will help you as you are pursuing your vision. And again, you're going to come across some challenges. You may run into some roadblocks. Some people may do you wrong. The people you expected to support you might not support you. But at the end of the day, it's going to be up to you to finish what you started. It's going to be up to you to cross the finish line. And so you've got to decide, okay, am I going to forfeit this victory or am I going to do what I said I was going to do? Or am I going to pursue what I said I was going to pursue? And so one of the first things you've got to have is desire. So when it gets hard, like when I'm like, you know what, this is too much. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. It's not going the way I expected. I have to go back to my desire. I have to go back to my why. Like, okay, why are you doing this? You want time freedom. You want financial freedom. You want emotional freedom. You want to be able to be authentically you. This is why you are doing this. You want to help people to maximize their potential. You want to help people to land speaking engagements. You want to help people create products and services. You want to help people also achieve time and financial freedom. That's why you are doing this. And it's not going to always be easy. It's not going to always be peaches and cream. People are not going to always be cheering you on. But why are you doing this? And so that's my question for you, for those of you who are tuning in. Why are you doing this? And if you're catching the replay, let me know. Type hashtag replay. But also let me know, why are you doing what you are doing? Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's going to keep you when you're ready to give up. That's the only thing that's going to keep you when you get tired, when you get frustrated, when you get weary. And the other thing is, what is your belief? What is your belief about yourself? Do you have belief in you? What is your level of belief as it relates to what you can and cannot accomplish? Because that can also be a barrier. And as Christians, we're often talking a lot about our faith in God. And I believe in God. I love God. I plead the blood. All of that. I pray. But at the end of the day, it's easy to believe in God because he's God. But my question is, can you believe in you? My question is, do you believe in you? Do you believe that you can do what you say you want to do? Do you believe that you can finish what you started? Do you believe that what you hold is valuable? That's what's going to keep you. That's what's going to keep you when you're ready to give up. The other thing is, you got to be determined. If you're not determined, anytime you run into any type of challenge, a bump in the road, somebody ticks you off, something doesn't go the right way or the way you thought it should go, you're done. And I've discovered that the people who win, they have tenacity. They have mental toughness. They refuse to give up. It's like, I don't care how many times you knock me down, I'm getting back up. And that's the mentality that you have to have. You have to be determined to win. You have to be determined to finish. You got to be just as committed to finishing as you are committed to saying, I'm done. Right? And you won't always have someone to encourage you or to motivate you. And during those times, you got to be willing to encourage yourself. You got to be willing to motivate yourself. You've got to figure out, what can I do to bounce back? What can I do to shift my energy? What can I do to shift my perception? What can I do to pick myself up? Because I refuse to stay here. Oh my goodness. Woo! I refuse to stay here. Have you ever said that to yourself? Like, I refuse to stay stuck. I refuse to lose. I refuse to give up. If you want to win in business, if you want to win in life, that's the mentality you have to have, period. Nobody's going to hand anything over to you. You got to go after it. You got to go for it. It doesn't matter if you're uncomfortable. It doesn't matter if you're nervous. It doesn't matter if people aren't supporting you. It doesn't matter if people aren't cheering for you. What are you going to do for you? You can't put that pressure on anybody else but you. You've got to be determined. You've got to save you. You've got to work for you. Oh my goodness, who am I talking to this evening? And then last but not least, you got to have a willingness to take consistent action. This is the thing. A lot of times we keep telling ourselves that the thing is not working. But my question is, are you working the thing? Are you working the thing? Like, oh, it's not working. Nobody's responding. Well, how many times have you tried? And let me tell y'all something. Some years ago, and my coach, she just like, girl, you could have been way further along. You just gave up too quickly. And so I did this launch. I didn't understand all of the numbers. You know, I had a certain number of people to attend and opt in and do all of the things. But it just, to me, with where I was at that time, you know, see, where I was at that time, I'm like, what? That was a failure. I'm never doing this again. And it took me years to show back up. I wasted that time. What if I had taken consistent action? Whew. What if I had said, you know what? This is a learning lesson for me. All right, Shonda. I said, what if this had been a learning lesson? What if I had taken what I had done and looked at that and said, you know what, Jessica, let's try this again in a couple of months. And then it might get a little better. Okay, now let's try this again in a couple of months. Do you all realize how much further along I would have been had I not sat down for 2 years because I was ticked off? And so again, let me take this back to, are you committed to what you say you want? Are you willing to bet on yourself? Are you willing to be uncomfortable? Are you willing to do certain things and not see the results you want, but you still refuse to give up? Oh my God. Now let me tell you something. Now that right there, it's easier said than done. Now I'm a recovering perfectionist. And when it don't go the way I want it to go, let me tell you something. I'm not a happy camper. I'm hard on myself. I'm harder on myself than probably a lot of people because I'm also an achiever. But I also know that promotion requires movement. And so I understand that as long as I stay stuck, as long as I'm curled up in a fetal position, as long as I'm having a pity party, ain't no progress happening. I know that's Southern, but progress is not happening as long as I'm stuck, as long as I'm upset, as long as I'm not taking action because I feel bad about how things are going. And you've got to get to a place, if you want to be successful, you've got to get to a place where you can separate your feelings and your emotions from your actions. Oh my goodness. You've got to be able to say, you know what? I don't really feel like this, but this is what is required of me. To whom much is given, much is required. And so I'm going to close out in a few minutes, but I just want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to think long and hard about the thing that has been in your heart for years. Maybe you wanted to write a book. Maybe you wanted to be a coach. Maybe you want to be a speaker. Maybe you want to go back to school. I don't know. You want to start a business. Whatever that thing is. And I want you to ask yourself, have I been fully committed to that thing? Have I been fully committed, or have I allowed other people to get me off track? Have I allowed distractions to take me off course? Have I allowed my perceived failure to stop me when I should have kept going? And if your answer is yes, that's okay. Because now you're in a position to where you are aware that you should have kept going. But you also have the opportunity to start again. Oh my God. That's what I love about life. See, as long as you are still breathing, you still got a chance. You still have a chance to finish what you started. And so before I close, I want you to to first of all, type in the chat, give me a takeaway. Now, I talked about desire, I talked about belief, I talked about determination, I talked about consistent action. What is it that stood out most to you? And then I want to remind you about my upcoming masterclass. So if you're a speaker, coach, author, expert, professional, and you're looking to speak on more stages, you're looking to build authority, to monetize your expertise, be sure to check out my masterclass. I promise, I'm telling you, I'm giving you all the goods, and it's absolutely free. So it's next Thursday, May 26th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can click the link and I will see you there. Thank you so much for joining. But again, it's going to be up to you to finish what you started. Until next time, take care.